Good Tuesday morning, everyone, and welcome to Mindful Movement with AARP Alabama. I am your host, Margie Curry, and today's session is with our certified yoga instructor, Becca Impello, who has been practicing and teaching yoga for more than 20 years. We want to remind you, everybody, that AARP empowers people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization that has over 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate for those 50 plus and their families. AARP is committed to offering opportunities for people to stay engaged from their home. The Mindful Movement series provides an opportunity for you to keep moving in the safety of your own home. Hi, Becca.
Hi, Margie. How you doing?
Doing great today. What do you have for us today?
Well, Margie, I thought today we would do just what I like to consider a full body practice. Now, I know we got 30 minutes, which is not a super long time, but we're going to just make sure we touch every part of the body, even our hands and our feet today. So that's what the plan is.
Sounds like a plan. Everybody, please remember before you begin any program that you consult with your physician to be sure it's safe for you to participate. All right, Becca, let's get started.
Very good. Well, like I said, going to do a full body practice. That means we're not going to emphasize any one particular area like I sometimes do. We're just going to try to make sure we move all the different places in the body, maybe even some places that you don't typically think about needing exercise or needing movement, like those toes and fingers, all right? But I always want to remind you, if anything just doesn't seem right for your body or for whatever's going on with you, you're absolutely free to skip anything that doesn't seem right for you or to just change it in some way to make it work for you a little bit better. That might mean making the movement smaller or bigger or slightly different movements or resting a little bit more often, or sometimes it means you want to make it a little more challenging. All right, so we're going to do a good bit from seated in the chair, and then we will do some things standing, and we'll use the chair a bit as our prop. So any sturdy, straight back chair, like a folding chair or a kitchen or a dining room table chair, something without arms preferably if you have it, all right? And then you can be barefoot if you're able. If you prefer keeping your shoes on, no problem, keep them on. Just do the best you can with those toes when we get to that part. All right, so let's just sit up tall. I always like to start with a couple of breaths. So take your hands to your abdomen, to your belly. You might close your eyes. And just start to take fuller, deeper, slower breaths. If you can feel that belly expand as you inhale, and gently draw it back in as you exhale. Okay, no certain length of time that you need to make this breath. You're just trying to breathe a little bit deeper and slower than your normal breath rate. Okay, so it could be different for all of us. So let's take about 3 more of these breaths. Breathing in fully, exhaling out completely. One more time. All right, let those arms drop down to your lap. So we're going to move through all the joints, like I said, move through all areas of the body. We're going to start with the neck, all right? So sit tall, turn gently from side to side. As you're making movements in each part of the body, you're also hopefully mindfully noticing, how does this feel? How does the body respond? Do I need to slow down? Do I need to back off? Can I go a little further, right? So you're constantly scanning, asking some of those questions, as you're moving and noticing your body. All right, now let's do a circle for the neck. Turn to one side or the other, and then drop the chin down and take a slow circle across the front of the chest to the other shoulder, and then up in the air with the chin a little bit until you get back around to where you started, and do that circling again. Now one more time. And then we reverse direction. So just pause and take it the other way, taking that slow, big circle around the other direction. Might feel some creaks and crackles, pops. Those kind of things are generally okay as long as there's no pain involved. Back off of anything that hurts. All right, bring that head up. Now we're just going to do a little bit more for the neck, just a little strengthening actually, okay? So these are gentle actions. You're not pushing really hard. You're just pushing lightly. So try taking your hands to the back of your head. Sit up nice and tall. And just gently press your head back into your hands and your arms resist, right? So press back, sit up tall, and then relax. Keep that chin down. So we're not tilting the head back, just pressing back. 2 more times, press and relax. Now you can keep this light or you can press harder, depending, all right? And then we're going to do a forward motion. So you're going to bring one hand or fingertips right to the center of the forehead. And then just lightly press the head into the hand. Okay, keep the jaw relaxed. Check that you're not holding your breath. Last one. And then release it. All right, and then both hands, one on either side, and you're just gonna turn into the hand on one side, turn into the hand on the other. These are called isometrics, where we don't move a whole lot, but we contract the muscles without a lot of movement or without any movement. So side to side, just turning right, turning left. Again, keep it gentle. All right, drop those hands down. Now let's go right into those shoulder blades and shoulders. We'll start rolling those shoulders up, back, and down. This also gets us starting to move the spine a little bit, and if you want to, you can sort of start to make a little wave-like motion, lifting up and arching, dropping into a slight roundedness as you roll those shoulders. Okay, 2 more. All right, good. Now drop the arms down to your sides. We're going to bend the elbows and then straighten them. Try to reach those arms a little bit further back. Bend and straighten. Let's go ahead and start to warm up the hands with this. Make a fist as you bend your elbows, and then open up the fingers and spread them back as you extend the elbows. Fist, and then open. Fist, bend the elbows, and then open those hands. 2 more times. Good. And then just shake those arms out. Now we're going to work a bit with the shoulders next, all right? So let's do this one arm at a time, and then you can choose to maybe do the last few with both arms at once, or maybe you'll decide to stick with one at a time, because you could have some big differences on the 2 sides, all right? So let's start with, let's say, the right hand. And you're going to take that hand behind your back, so scoot forward in your chair, or feel free to stand up. All right, so I'm going to take that hand behind my back, and you can bring it up as high as feels comfortable, but no pain in your shoulder. All right, and then slowly sneak it out. Take it out to the side, and somewhere here around the shoulder height, you're going to turn that palm to face up, and then bring that hand all the way behind your back, behind your head and your upper back. And then back out to the side, turn the palm back, sneak that hand behind your back. All right, so let's do that again on this side. Out, turn the palm up, hand behind the head. Now you're going just however far you can go. Palm back. All right, now let's just pause with that side. Try the other. So left hand behind the back. And then sweep it out to the side. Turn the palm to face up. Hand behind the head. Back up. Turn the palm to face back. Hand behind the back. Out to the side. Turn. So all of us may look a little different in terms of how big of a shape we're making when we turn, how far behind our bodies we're able to go. All right, now take that arm down, just give them another little shoulder roll. Now let's try doing both arms at once, but if you found that you need to do them separately, do a couple more on each side separately. Sit tall, hands behind the back. Sweep them out. Turn the palms up, hands behind the head. Out. And hands behind the back. Good. 3 more. Out to the side and up. Out to the sides and back behind. 2 more. Last one. And release it. Good. All right, let's move it on down. We're going to do a little something for the rib cage and the spine. So let's start with a side to side movement. Shift your torso, your rib cage, your chest, right and left over the hips that stay in the chair. Side to side. Now let's see if we can make that a circle. So go to the side, bring it forward, around to the other side and back. Circle. Trying to really just move this rib cage and torso, which is our spine, spinal column, all the different parts of it. Let's go the other direction. Circle that rib cage around. Explore the movements that you feel in your body. Keep mindfully noticing how this feels and how your body responds. Good. Come back to center. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and do a little something for the hands. I'm going to move closer to the camera for this one, just so you're sure to be able to see. What I've done is taken one hand into a fist, and the other hand I've just clasped around that fist. If I had a ball, I could use that, but it's easy to use our 2 hands. So I'm just holding on to that fist, and then I'm going to lift my index finger and put it back down, and then lift that middle finger and put it back down, and then lift the ring finger, gets harder. And down, lift the pinky finger, a little easier. And even the thumb, pull the thumb out. Okay, so now let's do it again, but make a few circles. Lift that index finger and circle, circle, circle. The other fingers try to stay gripping, and then down. Lift that middle finger, circle, circle, circle. That's hard to do. Ring finger, oh, that's the hardest. May not move much. And down, and pinky finger. And thumb. Good. And then shake it all out. Good. Let's do the other hand. So just switch sides, make your ball, your fist, and clamp down on it with that other hand. Let's just start with the lifts. This will just reveal to you kind of how much flexibility you have in those fingers, how much control and coordination. Pinky finger, thumb. Good. Now let's try the circles. Lift and circle. Good. Middle finger, circle. Ring finger. It's the hard one, at least for me. Maybe it's different for you. Pinky finger. And thumb. Good. And then shake that out. And then let's just do a little stretch. This is for the wrist. Now you can still be seated. Remember, I stood up just to get closer to the camera. Now let's press one hand forward and then gently pull back on the balls of the hand right there, the pads of the fingers, not the fingers themselves. And then do the other side, a little stretch for those wrists. Good. And then release, shake it on out. We're going to go ahead and stand up now and move on down through the rest of the body, but we'll do it from some standing positions, or some of the time we may use the seat of the chair. Right? So you can go ahead and just stand up and maybe have that chair nearby so that you can hold on if you need to at any time for balance. All right, let's start by standing tall. We're going to work with the spine just a little bit more first, and then move on down to our hips, knees, ankles, and feet. All right, so let's do a little side stretch. You can sweep the arms up, or you can take them to the top of your head if you want to. And then we're going to just stretch over to one side, then bring it back up. Stretch over to the other side, back up, get tall in the middle. Taking a little pause there in the center to lift before you take it over to the side. One more each direction. Back to center. Let those arms drop down. Now we'll take a little twist for the body, all right? For this one, I'm going to have the arms out horizontal, but you could keep them on your hips if you wanted to, okay? Stand tall and then turn. Back to center. Again, just like the last one, every time you come to the center, you want to lengthen up and get nice and tall. Turn. Good, one more each direction. And then back to center. Good. All right, now let's use the back of the chair for a little stretch for the whole spine. So walk back with those feet, lengthen out the arms and the torso, roughly parallel to the floor. It doesn't have to be absolutely parallel, but just take a little stretch back. You can soften your knees here. This starts to get us into our hips and our glutes a little bit as well. All right, and then walk it on in. So again, you can hold the chair for some support as needed. I'm going to face forward, but you may find it's helpful to face the chair if you want to. All right, we're going to do a little bit of hip loosening. So standing on one leg, bringing the knee up, and then taking that leg in a circle behind you, and then circling it back around to the front. Circling it around behind, swinging it out to the side and forward. You're trying to lift it up as high as you can in the front, round and back behind, squeeze the buttocks. 2 more. Good. 1 more. Try not to lean. Try not to fold the torso. Keep everything up nice and tall. And take it down. All right, other side. Again, you can challenge yourself a little more by trying not to hold on. Pick up that other leg. Circle it around, get it behind you, squeeze, out around back to the front, lift high, circle it back, squeeze, back around, 3 more, 2, last one, and take it down, shake out those legs. Now we'll do a little hip stretch. Face the chair, stretch back with one leg. This is our warrior stance, warrior 1, like a strong, capable fighter, right? Push down into that back leg, squeeze this glute, lift up in the front. Optional to raise those arms if you'd like. This really incorporates obviously more than just the hips. This is legs, arms, and spine. So we're definitely getting full body here. You can even try and spread the fingers and the toes to make them a part of this posture as well. Good. And then let's switch sides. The other leg back. Press into that heel, bend this front knee. Squeeze the glutes, lift up from the front, maybe raising those arms. And 1 more breath here. And then release it and step back in. All right, good. Now, we're going to move into some mobilization for the knee joints. Standing tall again. Maybe you hold on, maybe you let go for a little more balance challenge. We're going to take one knee, bend it, bring that heel up to the bottom, and then switch to the other side. So just go slowly side to side. Okay, this is helping us use those hamstring muscles, work on the mobility of our knee joints. And we get a little work in that just balance and weight shifting as well. All right, next time you pick up that right foot, try to stay here. Holding on is always available. Circle that foot that you've got in the air, that right foot that you lifted up. Circle, circle, circle. So we get the ankle going a little bit. Circle the other way. Good, and then take that leg down. Let's do the other side. Bend the knee, left foot up, circle, circle. Go the other way. Good, and then down. All right, now a little more for the feet. And of course, the whole body's still involved to a degree here. So not just for the feet, but we'll come up and down on those tiptoes. Nice and slowly. Holding on or trying to let go, your choice. You got to get connected to your feet. Feel the bottoms of the feet. Feel the arches of the feet. See if you can feel the toes. If you wanted a little more challenge, try these last three by raising the arms up as you lift up and then dropping the arms down. I didn't do so well that time. Up and down. But remember, it's okay. We're not looking for perfection. All of this is practice, right? And then when we practice things that are a little challenging, that gives us some, gives our body the impetus, the influence to get better. All right, take those hands down. Walk it back one more time. Roll, stretch out. This is a version of downward facing dog that we do with the chair. All right, we'll get back in. Now let's go ahead and turn the chair around, and we're going to use the chair seat as sort of a nice base for us to put our hands on. All right. This could also be done in hands and knees on the floor if you wanted to. All right, coming on to what I like to call a tabletop position, right? So feet are back under the hips, hands are in the chair. I'm sort of mimicking a table with my back. All right, and this is for the spine, especially that lower back. Push into the chair, tuck your tail, and get rounded. And then soften your knees, flatten your back, maybe lift your chest and your chin a little bit, and then just go back and forth a few more times. Good. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now, while we've got our hands down on the chair, we're going to do one more thing for our fingers, right? So I've got my hands here flat on the chair. That may already be somewhat of a stretch for your wrists and your hands. And then I just want you to see, can you lift any of your fingers up? So I'm just lifting my fingers off the chair while I keep the palm of the hand down. And then relax the fingers. Lift them up. You may find that some lift and some don't. If you're not able to lift at all, shift back a little bit, and then you'll have a little easier time lifting your fingers. If it's kind of easy for you to lift your fingers, you might shift more forward, and then it's going to be harder to lift those fingers. Try just 3 more. Lift, lift, and lift. Good. All right. Come back up. Shake out those hands. All right, we're going to sit back down in the chair. We've still got to get something for our toes. That's what we're going to do next. And then we'll do a little bit more for the hips as well, maybe the shoulders. All right, so we're sitting back down in the chair, although this could be done standing as well. Again, if you have, socks in or shoes on, just do the best you can. Move the toes as much as you can, but put your mind, your awareness in those feet. All right, so here's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to lift and spread all 10 toes. It helps to take a look at them. All right, and then relax them. Lift and spread. Try to keep the ball of your big toe down. Keep your heels down. Keep your pinky ball of the foot down. All right, relax. Now, let's see, can you lift just the big toes? But keep the other 8 down on the ground. I can do it on my right, but my left big toe has a harder time. But once I get it there, it'll lift. All right, relax. Try again. Lift just the big toes. Down. 2 more. Lift. Just see if you can get those big toes to move at all. One more time. Lift. and down. Whew. Okay, now it's the other 8 toes. I'm gonna try to keep my big toes down on the ground. I'm gonna lift to those other toes. Again, my left foot is a little less coordinated, always has been. And down, but it gets better the more I do it. Like if I do these consistently for several days out of the week, then it gets easier. All right, one more time. Lift all those little toes. Keep the big toes down. And relax. All right, let's take a little break from the toe stuff and pick up one foot and circle the ankle. Go the other way. And then the other side, pick up that foot, circle. Go the other direction. Good, and down. Now scoot towards the front of the chair. Stick one foot out. This kind of gets the whole leg. I'm going to pick up the ball of the foot, spread the toes, straighten the knee, and then sit up nice and tall. And maybe lean forward. So depending on how quickly you feel some tightness on the back of that leg, you may or may not lean very much forward. Sometimes sitting up tall is plenty, so you could just stay there. Lean forward only if you feel like, it makes sense to give that stretch a little bit more sensation. Good. Now let's take that same leg. So this is my right leg. Take that same leg that you were just stretching and bring it up. See if you can cross that ankle over the opposite knee or cross that ankle over the opposite shin. Even could be down at the ankle if that hip is tight. All right. And then sit nice and tall. Again, maybe there's room to lean forward, but maybe not. Take a few moments here with each of these stretches, 3 or 4 breaths. Keep that mindfulness going as best you can. Notice how this feels in your body. Notice where you feel this in your body. And then let's release that side. Take that leg down. Other foot forward. Okay. Ball of that foot, on the heel of that foot with the ball of the foot up. Sit tall, straighten the knee, maybe lean into it. Again, we're looking for some stretch down the back of that leg. All right, and then let's release and go ahead and try that crossed position. I call this a figure 4 stretch. It's sort of the shape that we make with our legs is like the number 4. Remember, you could cross to the knee, the thigh, or down lower. Sit up tall. See if you can notice a difference in this side compared to the other side. I notice a difference. My left hip is tighter, just like my left toes are a little less coordinated. And there's usually a difference in our right and left sides. 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then let's release. Sit back in the chair a little bit. This last thing we're going to do is going to come back to our breathing like we did at the beginning, but we're really trying to target our diaphragm. This is the muscle at the base of our rib cage, at the top of our belly. It is the muscle that contracts every time we take a breath in, right? And so it's a muscle just like all the other muscles in our body. It just works automatically most of the time. But we can engage it a little bit more when we try to take a little bit deeper, fuller breath. So you might put your hands just right there, at the ribs in the belly. Take a nice deep breath in. Try to see if the ribs can move out to the sides as well as forward. Exhale, see if you can feel it moving back in and down. Don't force too much. Let your belly be relaxed. We're not sucking anything in. We're not trying to force anything. We're just seeing if we can take a slower, fuller breath and push some movement into the ribs and some action into the diaphragm. Just about 3 more. One more. right. And then just pause, return to your natural breath rhythm. Take a moment just to sort of inventory all the places in your body that we worked. We got all the way from the fingers up to the head and neck, all the way through the spine, and even down to the toes. We want to be grateful for every piece and part of our body, even the ones that aren't working as well as maybe they used to. We can still work with them and get the most out of them possible with these mindful movement sessions. So thank you so much for joining us. With gratitude to AARP of Alabama and all of you that support our programming. Thanks for joining us, and come again next Tuesday for some more mindful movement.
Thanks, Becca. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And we look forward to you joining us again. Please take the survey and let us know what you think. But thanks a lot, Becca. Bye. Have a great week, everybody.
Everybody.